Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Good afternoon and welcome to Thurman Munson Stadium for today's National Amateur Baseball Federation matchup featuring the Brooklyn Grays and the Mountaineer Lumber Company. On behalf of NABF Collegiate Director John Mangelkamp, Site Director Greg Turbovich, and Canton City Schools, we extend to each of you a cordial welcome. Now let's meet the teams, beginning with the visitors on the scoreboard, the Mountaineer Lumber Company. Leading off and playing center field, number 11, Luke Ickes. Batting second and playing right field, number 8, Will Tagan. Batting third and playing first base, number 18, Braden Clark. Batting fourth and playing left field, number 22, Hunter Edwards. Batting fifth as the DH, number 21, Ethan Green. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 2, Andon Bender. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 6, Brady Rellison. Batting eighth and doing the catching, number 7, Aiden Makito. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 4, Grayson Bischoff. And on the mound for the Mountaineer Lumber Company, number 28, Luke McGeorge. Now let's meet the starters for the home team, the Brooklyn Grays. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 5, Pedro Sanabria. Batting second and doing the catching, number 25, Juan Fabian. Batting third and playing right field, number 27, Adrian Mendoza. Batting fourth as the DH, number 45, Kamar Brown. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 14, Ishmael Luciano. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 12, Jacob Valero. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 24, Kevin Urena. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 23, Josiah Valero. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 22, Emmanuel Peralta. And on the mound for the Brooklyn Grays, number 6, Jeremy Ramirez Zarita.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation, we will see you on Saturday afternoon. Riley Meister gets the point.
Back into left field, say goodnight to that baseball.
This is another one. It's back to back jacks for KSU Tuscarawas. Needs a point, and it's alive. Hanson pushes it over. Unbelievable. We play on. It's blocked. We're tied. We're tied. Unbelievable.
We are ready to go for game number 3 of the day, the middle game at Thurman Munson Stadium in Canton. As you are watching the NABF Collegiate World Series on SmeeSports in partnership with the WRCL. This matchup features the 11-6-3 Mountaineer Lumber Company as they battle the 0-1 Brooklyn Grays Gibson. Hello friends, Nathan Smee once again on the call for you today. Still moving on schedule at Thurman Munson Stadium. Always a good sign. And this matchup should be a fun one. A lot of power, especially from the Summit and Stark County areas on this Mountaineer Lumber Company roster as they take on the Brooklyn boys, the Brooklyn Grays. Always exciting to see a Ohio versus another state matchup. It just goes to show how strong Ohio is or where they need to improve. It's a great measuring stick game for this Mountaineer Lumber Company team. A rough one last night, but they got the win in the end 5-4 courtesy of Will Tagan's walk-off hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. They hope to win this one in a more convincing fashion. If they do, they will officially be moving on to the semifinals. The question is, as a 1 or 2 seed, that will be decided tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. as they take on the Jasper Reds. For the Lumber Company, it'll be Luke Ickes, Will Tagan, and Braden Clark 1 through 3 beginning this game. Time locally, it is 2:30. And we are all but ready to go. It's the middle game of the day. After this one, 2 games left to play. So day 2 quickly going by. Blink and you'll miss it here in downtown Canton. Zarita, he's ready to go. So is Ickes in the batter's box as he takes ball 1. A really good season in 2026 for Luke Ickes at the University of Mount Union. A .304 average with 23 RBIs, 10 doubles, and 2 home runs in 44 games, 43 of which were starts. Pitching-wise, pretty good as well. 74 innings of work, a 5.06 ERA. 80 strikeouts to 42 walks. That's the ratio that he will focus on going forward from here, as he still is an available arm. After last night, the only arm unavailable from here on out, most likely, depending on pitch count, he still could be alive, but most likely is not. It is Austin Payne, the rising junior out of Otterbein. Odds are he is done for the NABF. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Luke Ickes. And he will stay alive, fouling that one off. But going forward after this game, if the Brooklyn Grays can win this one, they will have a chance to advance. But to stay alive, they must win this game. The 1-2, it will hit Luke Ickes. Or did it? I think he may have just gotten out of the way of it. I'm kind of surprised he didn't stand in there and take it. Count 2-2. Ickes wants to do it the hard way. 137 career hits across 3 seasons for Mount Union. He likes his chances. In the end, we're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. But a .316 career average. He has been a key piece since day 1. Coming out of Green High School in Uniontown. Just 20-25 minutes up the road from here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here is the pivotal payoff pitch. Ickes, fly ball, skied off towards the right side. And out of play, foul it goes. So we will do it again. But this Mountaineer Lumber Company team, they didn't have the best of starts to this season. But as they always seem to do, they always find a way into this tournament, and when they do, they typically wreak havoc. Not to step on Release's toes with that sentiment. Payoff pitch inside for ball 4. The leadoff man is aboard. So Ickes will take first base, setting up Will Tagan. As well, it looks like we did have a incorrect player on the mound to begin this game. This is going to be refuel number 7 doing the pitching. The number we were given was 6. That is a different player entirely. So we do apologize for that mistake, but now it turns to Will Tagan, the right fielder. That pitch well inside for ball 1. Tagan comes to the squad by way of Washington University, St. Louis, and Shaker Heights High School. A .333 average this past season in 22 games played as a sophomore. The 1-0, good shot down the left field line, but foul it goes. Good cuts to begin the day by Luke Ickes and Will Tagan, but still nothing in fair territory. Count sits at 1-1. You go back to that B2 Bulls game yesterday for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. They trailed early. They went down in the first inning, but battled back in and won the day when it was all said and done. Refuel's 1-1 is high for ball 2. Career average of 277, so a career year this past year for Washington. Has played in 56 games, started 46 across 2 seasons at the collegiate level. Runner goes 2-1 high and in, throw down to second. It's going to ping away. And Ickes, he is on his way to third. And he will trot his way there, now 90 feet away from opening the scoring for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. And he will be greeted by his coach over at third with a fist bump. I believe it is Steve Wydu stepping in as the head skipper today for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. Count 3-1 on Tegan. Braden Clark awaits in the on-deck circle. The rising senior out of Akron Coventry High School, now at Tiffin. But a 3-1 count on the right fielder. Refuel struggling to settle in. That'll help. Fouled back by Tegan. We're full 3-2. The MLC knocking on the door. They're ready to strike early on. We've seen 1-run rule in this entire NABF World Series, and I think this group wants to be the second team to do it. Their next game, it'll be tomorrow morning at 9:30 against the Jasper Reds. A big game, but we'll decide how big it is later on. Payoff pitch. It is strike 3 looking. 1 down. Refuel battles back in and finds his first strikeout of the game. Again, if the Lumber Company loses this game, it's technically a matchup fighting for their life. But at the same time, that could be the rare case of a 1-2 team getting through depending on how the other game goes. But I think they'll have that knowledge heading in. If it's 2-0 versus 2-0, all you're deciding is seeding. Clark drives this one into right field, and it is going to be caught for out number 2. Ickes is going to tag, and Ickes will easily score from third. So the Lumber Company will take a 1-0 lead courtesy of Braden Clark's sac fly. But a really good swing. Plenty of carry, but a nice job by the center fielder, Falero, to catch up to it. So the base is clear with 2 away as Hunter Edwards, the left fielder, steps in. The rising sophomore will be playing his collegiate baseball for a different team in JUCO this season. Played for Jackson Community College in 2026 and 2027. He will don the teal of Tri-C. Appeal to third as Ickes did leave in time. I do agree with that call. I think he did leave in time. I think he timed it up quite perfectly. Never hurts to appeal it, though. I see why you do it, just in case if they got the call wrong. But in this case, the call is confirmed, and the Lumber Company will take the 1-0 lead. Edwards, good swing. It's down the left field line, but foul it goes. Count 0-1 to begin. Played in 33 games this past season for Jackson Community College with a .349 average, 23 RBIs, 6 doubles, and 4 home runs, with an on-base percentage of .429. Excited to see him in the Tri-C Teal this upcoming spring. The 0-1 taken at the top of the zone for strike 2, and you can see from here he is not too happy with that decision. Don't think the fans are either. So a 2-strike count on Edwards. Refuel looks to get out of the inning here. And he will do just that. The side is retired. 2 strikeouts this inning for Refuel, but 1 run still does score. That coming courtesy of Braden Clark's sac fly. Middle of 1 at Munson. 1-0 MLC on top. Coming up, Sanabria, Fabian, and Mendoza for the Brooklyn Grays. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. 1-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company, your score as we enter the bottom of the first inning. Game 3 of 5 today at Thurman Munson Stadium as you are watching the NABF Collegiate World Series on SmeeSports in partnership with the WRCL. Coming up next, it'll be the other Brooklyn Grays team making their debut against a really talented squad of the Canton Class A League, which will stay on for Travelers in the game to follow. It's a bunt to begin, right to McGeorge. He will throw to one, and it's cleanly picked for out number one. Some extra early work for Braden Clark. He already drove in a run, but has to add a pick on for good measure. Not a bad play, but McGeorge has to keep that one a little bit higher going forward. So 1 up, 1 down to begin the home half of the first inning as Juan Fabian will step in for the first time in this game. 5'8", 185 out of Progress High School, where he is a rising senior class of 2027. This Brooklyn Grays team, plenty of young talent. And talking to this group, we were told that going forward from here, it'll be a bunch of their older players in the next game. And for that other team, who is the only group yet to make their debut at this tournament, the 1-0 fly ball sent into right field and caught for out number 2. A nice routine play for Will Tagan. 2 up, 2 down, just like that. I'm sure McGeorge is quite pleased with his defense right now, as that'll bring up Adrian Mendoza, the right fielder. For the Lumber Company in the second, it's Ethan Green, Andon Bender, and Brady Rallison, the former Ohio State Buckeye, rounding out the top 3 of this next inning. McGeorge back to work, forces this one foul on the fly ball. But for him, that was only his 4th pitch, so this will be his 5th of the inning, and he is nearly out of it. Great efficient pitching to begin by Luke McGeorge. The 0-1 off the plate. McGeorge, the rising sophomore out of Gannon via Massillon, 5'10", 195. He's playing in the house of his former arch rivals, the Canton McKinley Bulldogs. But I'm sure that rivalry still runs true. Those rivalries don't dissipate as an athlete the moment you graduate. You still don't like those guys necessarily, but I'm sure he does like this diamond. McGeorge is 2-1 low for ball 3. If the inning were to continue, it would turn to Kamar Brown, the DH, in the on-deck circle. 3 balls, 1 strike the count. McGeorge back to work. Ground ball shot up the middle and through into center field for a 2-out base hit. It's a nice piece of hitting as Ickes brings this one right back in. But Mendoza keeps the inning alive on a nice swing. But that's what you have to do. It's a 3-1 count. It's probably the best pitch that you are going to see in that at-bat. Drive it somewhere, this time up the middle. It's a good sign of things to come for the Brooklyn Grays. They are ahead of him opposed to behind. Every bit of contact pretty much went over towards right field from the righties' batter's box. And then vice versa for the lefties. They were behind everything against the Jasper Reds. Right now against McGeorge, an early jump, which is a good thing. But they will have to keep it going longer than just one at-bat and to expand it 1 inning. First pitch fouled back, 0-1 the counts. It is the DH stepping in for the first time, 6'1", 190. He'll be a rising sophomore at East Central University in the fall. McGeorge, he'll throw back to first, not in time. And talking to the organization, a lot of what they do is to preserve history. That's part of it, but on the other end, it's to help these kids go to college. They have a 100% college placement. That's quite impressive. 1-1, high and out. They focus on the academics just as much as the athletics. This is a roster that typically has 52 players on it. They divided them right down the middle. The younger kids playing on this team, then the older kids play on that team to play in this tournament, as the limit for a roster is 27. The 1-1, high and out. They started the season with around 25-odd players. They now end with 52. And it's just a bunch of kids from Brooklyn who want to go and play ball. And you have to respect that. These guys coming out here making the almost 7-hour drive to go and play some tournament baseball. The 2-1, swing and a miss, we're even. So after getting 2 outs on 3 pitches, it has been a grind for Luke McGeorge to get to this point. But it's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 downs, 2s all the way around for McGeorge and the defense. And it will be dropped. It was tipped back. Makito couldn't glove it. So he will do it again. That's when you have to have it. Just kind of came off the glove awkwardly. I think a last-second tip as well. Wasn't necessarily anticipating it. And I'm sure at least part of the reason why it went the way it did. But another look here at McGeorge, getting ready for the 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, and this one is fouled back. Count will remain 2-2. Couple of good foul swings here from Kamar Brown. If the inning were to continue beyond him, he'll turn to Ishmael Luciano for the first time in this game. McGeorge, this will be his 15th pitch of the inning. Throwback not in time. Again, it has been 11 now after this pitch, 12 pitches since his last recorded outs. As he started 2 for 3 on the outs with 3 pitches. Quite impressive. Runner goes again, 2-2, fouled back over the stadium this time. And it'll land on top of the awning. Great battle here from Brown. Definitely staying alive and showing what he can do. But he'll look to keep it going. Looking for one to straighten out. Only 1 hit in this game for the Grays as things stand. The 2-2 misses low, work full, 3-2. An excellent battle, making McGeorge work more than he, I think, ever intended to this inning. Can McGeorge get out of this inning? That's the question. Easier said than done. McGeorge sets. Runner goes. Payoff pitch. Low and in. It's ball 4. So the inning will continue. Now Luciano has his chance to step in for the first time today. The rising senior, JUCO-wise, goes to Rowan College. Goes to the Gloucester campus. Of course, Rowan, a really good baseball program. They won the Mount Union Regional in 2025. And I believe they made it back to the NCAA World Series for Division III this past season. Of course, in the end, the boys of Granville got the win. Dennis and Big Red beating Endicott 4-3 in the 10th inning of the final elimination game of the weekend in Eastlake. Back around 2 months ago now at the beginning of June. McGeorge's 0-1 off the plates. But a fun day of baseball so far. 1 blowout, 1 closer game. McGeorge is 1-1 high. Back pick down to first. Not going to be there. Clark couldn't get it quickly enough either. So a 2-1 counts. But this inning has gone a lot longer than we ever thought it would. Especially for McGeorge. Up now to 20 pitches. This will be number 21. Just not getting the same contact that he once did. And there's ball 3. After Luciano, it goes to Jacob Falero. Goes 2 up, 2 down on 3 pitches once again. Just goes to show how wacky the game of baseball can be from time to time. And for McGeorge, he looks to get out of this inning and figure it out going forward. Definitely a player who can work out of this. This being not just the inning, but this interesting run of form. The 3-1 caught on the tip. We're full. Still looking for his first strikeout as well, as the other 2 outs were a fly out and a ground out directly back to him on the mound. Again, Green Bender Rollison coming up in the second for the MLC. Three balls, 2 strikes, runners go. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. The side is retired. McGeorge works out of the jam in the end and keeps the Grays off the board. To the second we go. 1-0 your score. It's the Mountaineer Lumber Company on top of Brooklyn. Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier. Welcome back to Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium, top of the second inning, 1-0 MLC your score, as you are watching the NABF Collegiate World Series on SmeeSports in partnership with the WRCL. Sac fly, the only bit of damage so far done by the Lumber Company, and that came courtesy of Braden Clark. First pitch fouled down the right field line by Ethan Green, count 0-1. Green, Bender, Rollison, 5 through 7 due up this inning. I'm sure the MLC feels like they have more work to do in this game, as they do. The 0-1 good take high and in for Ethan Green, the rising junior, a Shawnee State commit by way of Tri-C. Comes in at 6'1", 215. The 1-1, Greeny takes inside for strike two. But Shawnee State, they are moving from an NAIA team to an NCAA Division II group, joining the Mountain East Conference, and they can begin postseason play in the 28-29 season. The 1-2, again, high and in. This past season, a .348 average with 9 RBIs, 1 double, and 1 home run in 19 games for the Tops. A good rotational piece for Coach Nick Kaplik. 2-2 misses high, we're full. The WRCL allows 5 members of the class of 2026 to be a part of your team, or of course whatever class is the rising freshman collegiate class, so now 2030. We'll see the first of them in the on-deck circle in Andon Bender. Payoff pitch will skip in for ball 4. The leadoff man is on. That'll be the second walk surrendered today by Refuel. And I think the bench wanted him to run that one out a little quicker. I think they wanted him to see if he could get to, in the end, he'll just take his one as it turns to the Akron commits, and now rising freshman at Akron in Andon Bender. A standout player for Revere over the past 4 seasons. Hit .400 this past season, 24 RBIs, 6 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, and 28 games played for the Minutemen. So a really good career for Revere. No surprise to see him making the jump up to the MLC like so many great Revere players have done over the years. And I assume will continue to do. Not in the starting lineup today, but you also have Jeff Slice, a class of 2025 member on this roster out of Revere. 1-0 count to begin on the shortstop, and now it's 2-0. But an early commit to Akron during the recruiting cycle, he knew where he wanted to go from day one. And respect to him for sticking to it. And I'm sure he'll be a key piece for them, just given all the turnover. He can be a plug-and-play guy on day one. The 2-0 popped up, could be playable behind the plates. In the end, it is going to go out foul off the roof. That is the only issue with this awning. I'll make a lot of loud noises. This is an older main stand. Keep that in mind, too. The press box is newly renovated, but everything else around it kind of outdated. Of course, besides the turf itself. The 2-1 Bender grounds it over towards third. It's going to be bobbled. Long throw to first. It is going to skip in well late. So Bender will reach on the E5. 2 on, none down. Now a chance for Brady Rowlson to really help out the offense's cause. The redshirt sophomore this upcoming season at Walsh, out of Green High School by way of Ohio State. Was at OSU for a time, decided to come back home, played in 19 games this past season for Walsh, and he'll look to get back at it in 2027. But a really good player for Green over the past few seasons, going back a few years. Was really good in 23 and 24 for the Bulldogs. Of course, at least for that 23 season, a teammate of Luke Ickes, his center fielder. The 1-0 misses off the dish for ball 2. We've talked about this team. They have so much pitching depth. We'll see who pitches when, but you'd have to think Gilbride is available for a championship game. You have Ickes at some point who can pitch. One more starter, that's what you need. 2-0, taken for a strike. From there you have Jaden Guerrero. He could be that guy. Jacoby Engelhard. Depends on who you want to throw when. And how confident you are in their abilities to come out and do some good work. You even have Tyler Sloan, a really good player for St. Vincent St. Mary a few years back. Really good pitching depth for this Mountaineer Lumber Company team. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them use that pitching depth as this tournament goes on. Time called, as it looks like the Grays are going to go and have a mound visit. We really didn't see this at all in game number 1 today. They just kind of let the game go the way it did. And I think they learned from it as they want to quickly address the issues. They know this is an elimination game. It's win or go home. They just made the trip here from New York. They don't want to go back tomorrow empty-handed. But they have to figure it out. You can't load the bases up here and then bring in Makito, Bischoff, and Ickes. All capable, big game, big power hitters. You bring those guys up, look out. This one could get out of hand quickly. Wouldn't be surprised if those guys do step in. That it does do exactly that. Potentially a breaking point for the Grays. 3-1 pitch. Wide for ball 4. The bases are juiced. Still none down for Aiden Makito, the catcher. Comes to the squad by way of Franciscan University and Gilmore Academy. Played in 16 games, 11 of which were starts in 2026, and is majoring in mechanical engineering. So a smart guy in the batter's box with the bases loaded. And I'm sure he looks to help build the lead right here. Well, he could have worn it, and I think his team wanted him to. It's always easy to say wear it when you're not the guy in the batter's box. These guys know it. They are going to let them know, though, anyway. Count 1-0. And there's strike 1. I want to point it out because I see it on the scoreboard. 1 hit for the Grays, none for the Lumber Company. They have the lead with the 2 errors. Killer. That's the difference in this game right now. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Kind of a delayed swing from Makito. After him, it goes to another rising freshman at the collegiate level in Grayson Bischoff, the Finley commits. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Refuel back at it. Instead, it's down the left field line for extra bases. What a swing from Makito.
Two will score. Rollison gets waved around. He will join the party at home as it is a bases clearing 3 RBI double for Aiden Makito. Placed it perfectly over the bag. He will now get his courtesy runner. It's 4-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company. It's a Butte Clark. Perfect swing. And a great two-strike approach as well. Down 1-2, still none down. You don't want to be the first out of the inning. Instead, he is the first building block of what looks to be a massive frame for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. And as we said, when the base is loaded, this group right here, Makito, Bischoff, Ickes, those guys are big power guys, big game players who always find a way to step up. Case in point, 4-zip Mountaineer. What can Bischoff do with a runner on and none down? Of course, nothing more impressive than that last RBI, unless he goes yard, which still would bring in one less run than that last swing. But Bischoff this past season, a .391 average, 20 RBIs in 25 games for the Kenston Bombers. The 1-0, a nice block. Of course, Kenston won states in 2023. The class of 26, they are the last group to graduate from that team. So in 2027, Kenston will be playing with 0 state champions on their roster. I do believe Bischoff was on varsity at the time of that title. The 2-0, it hits him. He'll wear it. I think he shows Makito what he could have done earlier on, but I think Makito is showing that base hit and saying, I'm happy with my decision. 2 on, none down. It goes back to Luke Ickes. Again, a guy who can blow this game open for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. And I'm sure he has that on his mind. Not as much pressure as there would be in an NCAA tournament game, but I think he feels a responsibility to step up for his team. First pitch high for ball 1. Right now, patience is going to be key. If he can sit in here, wait for his pitch, if he gets it, that'll be more productive than swinging at garbage. That is not garbage at all as he drives it foul on the right field line. Really good pitch. Just one that Ickes got full force behind. As he'll have to try it again. 1-1 counts. After Ick, it goes to Tegan. We've already seen one really good swing from this inning, and that was Makito. Hopped it over the bag. But will you see a powerful line drive, a gap shot, something like that? Easily could. And Ickes easily can be that guy. The 1-1, high and out for ball 2. And still no outs this inning. That was pitch 42 from Refuel. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a pitching change soon, as I think the dugout is starting to peer their way down the line to see if whoever it is ready to go. The 2-0, Ickes, well, too far underneath it. Skies it over towards short and third. Called off at third as there is out number 1. A nice catch by Urena. Ickes had the right idea, couldn't straighten it out, got way too far underneath. And that was always going to be the results. 1 down for Will Tegan. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. But looks to continue where he left off this past season collegiately. Again, a .333 average, 19 RBIs. And even pick up where he left off yesterday with a walk-off winner. First pitch high and in. Don't know if that's one the team will yell where it's. Could be. After taking it goes to Braden Clark. But right now you can feel this one quickly slipping away from the Brooklyn Grays. The 1-0 high and in. I mean, even if there is a way back into this game, it would take a lot of work. Right now, we're leaning more towards a run rule win. Of course, for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. And with it, they would advance to the next round officially. Which I think we were all expecting heading in, but it'll be confirmed. The 2-0 taken for a strike. Of course, the Mountaineer Lumber Company, they were the best team coming out of pool play. In the end, bowed out to the to the Stark County Terriers in the championship game last season. Tegan drives it, fouled on the left field line. Count now 2-2. But a really good battle between Keegan Gilbride and Ty Dennison in that game. It went back and forth in the end. The Lumber Company just couldn't score as Ty Dennison got his complete game win. This group wants redemption, and if they are the 2 seed, they could easily start counting in the semifinals opposed to the championship. But they're gunning for that 1 seed. The 2-2, weird poke, over towards short. It's going to be bobbled. They get the out at 2. Return to 1. It's thrown wide. That'll bring in a run, making it 5-0. And on his way to seconds, that'll be taken. So it's a fielder's choice for out number 2. But you still bring in an extra run, you'll take it. And, of course, an extra error tacked on the throw. 3 errors in less than 2 innings for the Brooklyn Grays. It's not ideal. Now it turns to Braden Clark. Still all this being done on 1 hit, keep in mind, for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. They haven't been blowing the cover off the baseball pretty similarly to how the Jasper Reds did things against this Grays team. It's not hits, it's free passes and mistakes. Runner goes, pitch inside, throw down to third. On the money to end the inning. An excellent throw from Fabian behind the plate shuts down the MLC. But not before they plate 4. A big inning for the Lumber Company. They lead it 5-zip, middle of 2 in Canton.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
The Brooklyn Grays find themselves in a 5-run hole as we enter the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's all Mountaineer Lumber Company in Canton as you are watching the NABF Collegiate World Series on SmeeSports in partnership with the WRCL. Our middle game of the day after this, 2 more matchups to go. But so far, an interesting day. A 5-inning game to begin, an 11-0 win for the Jasper Reds, which they followed up with a 4-0 win over the B2 Bulls. And now in this one, we're looking like we are at least on a collision course for another run rule, albeit we are 5 runs away from that even being a possibility heading into the 5th. But we'll see how this one plays out. The 2-0 line drive into right center field and caught for out number 1. A nice job catching up to it by Will Tagan. And I will say, these Mountaineer Lumber Company jerseys are probably my favorite jerseys in the entire competition. I mean, come on. It's the lumberjack fit with a sleeveless uniform. Come on. That is great. We'll see if we can zoom in again on McGeorge, but I mean, look at that uniform. It's great. He, though, does have sleeves. We'll see if somebody else doesn't. There we go. Perfect example at second base. Thank you to Grayson Bischoff for modeling the beautiful jerseys. Of course, he really wasn't given a choice. But I love it. The lumberjack fit and everything. This is how summer baseball should be played. Fun and freestyled. That's how they're doing it. Count 1-1. And they're a good team. They're a darn good ball club. We knew that. The league knew that. There's a reason why in their first season of existence, they won the WRCL tournament. Then last year, they were the runners-up overall in the NABF. Came in as a low seed. They fought their way in and just snuck in as the fourth and final team out of the WRCL. Made it to the championship game and bowed out to Stark County. But they've been great. In their third season of existence, they now have some other teams at the 18 and 17 level. It's impressive. McGeorge's 1-2 sails high. I know I've mentioned it a few times this season, but this is going to be the next big organization, in my opinion. Kind of taking over that Summit County area. They're on the right track. 2-2, high and in, we're full. The infrastructure, it's there. Based out of Revere with Cottrell and Waidu running the show. They figured out a really good business model. And, of course, one of their big pitches, why not play in these jerseys? Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 down. So a quick start to this inning. Fly out from Falero. Strikeout from Urena. As that'll bring in Josiah Falero. 2 strikeouts now on the day as well for Luke McGeorge. In the third, it'll be Edwards, Green, and Bender. 4 through 6 coming up for the MLC. And they'll probably see a new pitcher from the Grays in that inning. Honestly, I'd be surprised if the Grays did not make a pitching change. Question is, who do they have left? Because in the split, did they get enough pitchers? Who knows? They used a lot of guys in the last game. They still have one more game after this in pool play before going to the consolation bracket. But odds are, as things stand, their hopes of winning an NABF World Series title are quickly dwindling. The 0-1 high. It's just the tough reality of tournament baseball. Time now as well, 3:12. This day has flown by quite quickly, I will say that. The 1-1, flown foul. I'll tell you what, when we're in the 10th inning of the last game today at 10:30 tonight, it's not going to be flying by quick. That being Travelers and the Catanets. Please don't have that game go to extra innings. Let's get all these games done in 7 if possible. That'd be quite ideal. The 1-2, high and out. I don't think we can end in a tie in the NABF College World Series. The only way we could in the others would be the time limit. There is no time limit. So in theory, we could be playing here as long as we want. Well, until Munson says, get out. McGeorge's 2-2. Perfectly paints the corner. The inning is over. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Luke McGeorge and the MLC defense. He is up to 3 punchies on the day. To the third we go. Score remains 5-0 Lumber Company.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Welcome back to Thurman Munson Stadium, top of the third inning, 5-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company on top as you are watching the 2026 NABF Collegiate World Series of the NABF here on SmeeSports. Line drive into right center field to get the inning going, and it's going to drop in the gap for extra bases. Clark is on his way to second. He is thinking 3. Plenty of hustle from him as he is going to dive on in safe. Is he going to go home now? Thought about it for a second. He will stay put. But what a start to the inning for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. A leadoff triple. Just a perfect swing, perfect placement and everything from Braden Clark. Of course, he did have a chance last inning. It was interrupted due to that throwout. But he got around. He got around quickly. And now, it turns to Hunter Edwards. Can he drive him in to make it 6-0? First pitch taken for a strike as well. New arm on the mound. That is going to be number 43 and Francis Fernandez as he attends Alfred E. Smith Career and Tech CTE High School. Count 1-1 as that pitch misses low again. Up next, it is the Canton A's taking on the Brooklyn Grays. It'll be the other Brooklyn Grays team. That'll be, I think, Josh coming in to close out their time today at Munson. So overall breakdown, we see the Grays, Gibson team twice. We see the other one once. Reds twice. We'll see the A's twice. I think everybody else we see once. The 2-1 fouled right back. Count out 2-2. Not a bad swing from Edwards. Has the right idea on it. But that was a haymaker sent right at the Travelers. And now time is called. But this inning, a great start for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. Still looking to make it 6-0. And with it, they are a step closer to that run rule. The 2-2 will miss low. Full count 3-2. The on-deck circle to follow Edwards. It is Ethan Green, the DH. Three balls, 2 strikes. Here is the payoff pitch, and it is fouled back. He got just a piece of it. Pitching-wise, Luke McGeorge looking good. If he can go the distance in this game, even if the distance is 5, that's a huge help for this team. And if the distance means that he can survive and pitch maybe an inning late in a game coming up, even better. Once again, payoff pitch. It is behind him for ball 4. A nice snag behind the plate to keep it in front. So 2 on, none down for Ethan Green. A big spot here for Greeny. As it looks like below us, the Travelers are getting ready to go to take some BP. Their game up next at 5 on Thurman Munson Field 2 against the defending champion Stark County Terriers. With a win, the Terriers would officially advance to the next round. So there's a decent chance entering the 7:30 game. We have 3 of our 4 teams decided. And I think because this pod closes out tonight with the exception of Travelers and the other Brooklyn team, there's still technically a chance that we could have it decided of who the 4 teams are going forward. First pitch taken high for ball 1. And the reason why, if the A's sweep, they would have the tiebreaker over both teams that could then get a second win, so they would be in. Runner goes from first. Throw down to second. It's picked off. It skips in. And now it's thrown to the backstop. My goodness, this one's around the yard. That'll make it 6-0, and a runner stays at third. I get the cut. I think that's the play, but you can't overshoot that ball going home. You make it a lot easier for the Mountaineer Lumber Company to score, as they have scored in every single inning so far. Is there action already in the pen? Could this become a crazy case of, hey, we got this one solidified, we're taking our starter out of the game? If that's the call, it's a bold one, but he's less than 40 pitches in. He's fresh. Again, I think Keegan Gilbride will be their starter in the championship. I'm going to guess they're going to stick with him as their ace, but they still have Tyler Sloan, too, to use. This would be huge for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. The 1-0 high and in. Oh, and by the way, they still have Luke Ickes. I don't know if they make the change, though. I don't know if they hold their nerve and do it, considering you still have to get, 9 outs to get done with this game? We'll see as there's ball 4. I think we both had 2-0. Game Changer did have 3-0. Okay. But back-to-back walks. Runners again at the corners for Andon Bender. But just astonishing what has happened. The Grays still looking for their first run today, being outscored now a combined 17-0. And we're still in the third inning. None down in the top of the third, for that fact. First pitch nearly runs in and hits Bender. But I do think as things stand, the best 2 teams are going to advance from this group. No doubts. This Mountaineer Lumber Company team, a great squad, and the Jasper Reds, equally impressive. Of course, Jasper, they're coming in 14-1. Could we say they're the team to beat now? Of course, you can't say it overall because the Stark County Terriers are the defending champs, but if we're looking at this season, are they the team to beat? I think they hope they're not the team to beat. They don't want that target. The 2-0 pitch inside, but hits the top corner for strike 1. But had a quick word with Coach after their games. He seemed quite pleased with how they played. He walked out of there, smile on his face and everything. His boys representing Indiana quite well today. The 2-1 from Fernandez, high for ball 3. After Bender, it goes to the former Buckeye now at Walsh and Brady Rollison. Three balls, 1 strike as Bender fouls this one off. Again, it's on top of the roof. Full count, 3-2. I will say the only thing I have that's an issue with Munson, I wish they would renovate the rest of the suites. They took care of this part of the press box. Why not start doing the rest of the suites? Make it more media-friendly and potentially high-end appealing. You have Malone play here. You have McKinley. You have the playoffs. Make some suites. Payoff pitch hits him. It's a hard 90 for Andon Bender. And I think one of his teammates just yelled, "Owie," from the dugouts. They're having fun. Bases juiced, none down. They've already scored this inning. Very similar to the second this is. Will be Rollison this time to blow the game open. If not, he does have Makito in the on-deck circle, who I'm sure wouldn't mind bringing in a few more to already improve on what has been an impressive day. But right now, no explanation or really nothing more to say about the Brooklyn Grays. It has not been their day. As for the MLC, this one, I would say how they wanted it to go and how they needed it to go. They came in more than prepared and have done well. Grounder through into left field. Rollison shoots it past the shortstop. 1 easily scores. Here comes a second. 2 will score. It is a 2 RBI double for Brady Rollison. That'll help the route continue. It's 8-0 Mountaineer. It's a demolition job at this point. A 3-run inning, and we still don't have our first out of the frame. It's just shocking what we've seen. We know what this team could do. We knew they were going to come in here and hit around quite well. But this well, I don't know if this is what we expected. And now it turns to Aiden Makito. Already 3 RBIs in this game. Can he get up to 5 with 1 swing of the bat? First pitch he'll take just high for ball 1. Again, there is no run rule after 4. The earliest run rule is 10 after 5. Just to keep that in mind going forward from this point. Especially if the Lumber Company continue to pile on the runs. The 1-0 skips in. I mean, if the runner from second comes around to score, we're at the point where the run rule would be confirmed for the 5th inning in the 3rd. And still no outs. So technically, this is in the time period between the 2nd and 3rd innings. So through 2 innings of work, 8 runs have been given up. Just a crazy game. The 2-0 well wide for ball 3. You have to think there is action in the bullpen. You have to think they're making a change soon. For Fernandez, that was pitch 23. We saw a pitcher earlier on today, I think, throw 3 strikes and 30 pitches. Just an unlucky day. The 3-0 skips in for ball 4. The bases are loaded once again. And now it turns to Grace and Bischoff. The Grays have not completed one go-around for their order. The Lumber Company is about to complete their second. And now Fabian will have a word with his pitcher as well. Looking ahead later on today, up next, it is the Canton A's taking on the Brooklyn Grays Josh team. That'll be followed up by the Canton A's taking on the Travelers to close out the night. And that'll be a big game depending on how things go on Munson 2. As for Travelers, if they lose that game, then it becomes a must-win. If the A's lose to the Brooklyn Grays, they are done. They will be out. They will be eliminated. But if they win, with a win over the Travelers, I think regardless of that outcome, they can advance. Because they would have the tiebreaker then. So again, as we've said, going into the final day of pool play, it could just be for seeding, basically. So we're going to miss to begin here for Bischoff 0-1. But we have been told this other Brooklyn Grays team, it is their older team. This is their team that has a lot of their older talent, so that could definitely play a factor, as this is pretty much a high school team with a couple of guys who do play at the JUCO level playing a strong collegiate organization. Which makes sense why the game is going the way it is. And why the other one went the way it did. The 1-1 taken high for ball 2. But tomorrow morning, a big game to begin the day. The Jasper Reds and the Mountaineer Lumber Company. The winner is a 1 seed. Exiting their pod, the loser, the 2 seed. The 2-1 driven over towards third. It's caught. And they get 2 right there. And for a split second, there was a chance that they could get the all-elusive triple play. So a flash of brilliance on the double play. 2 down as we go back to the top with Luke Ickes. So the Grays still battling in this game. Ickes so far today 0 for 1 with a pop-out and a walk. As for the Grays, it'll be Peralta, Sanabria, and Fabian. 9-1-2 coming up in the home half of the inning. First pitch off the plate. The umpire did think about calling it a strike, but I would say at least from up here it was a clear call. He did kind of step back thinking about it, though, which is an interesting approach. Again, with pitching, because of how long this inning has gone, do you even put McGeorge back out there? The 1-0 skips in for ball 2. It's not even about, at this point, you think the game is going to end early, you save your pitching. It's, is he still fresh? It's been how long? Probably a good 20 minutes since he stepped on the mound at this point. Is he still ready to go? The 2-0 wide for ball 3. After Ickes, it goes to Tagan. Again, our next game scheduled for 5 o'clock tonight. That'll be our penultimate game of the day. The 3-0 pitch. Ickes drives this one deep to right field, and it is going to be foul. Or caught. Whoa. Misplay that one right behind the pole. Inning over. A good swing, though, from Ickes. Just still can't get it past this defense. 3 more score to the home half of the third we go. 8-0 MLC your score.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
The call to the bullpen has been made by the Mountaineer Lumber Company. We saw Jeff Slice get warm in the top of the third. He is on the mound now in the home half of the inning. McGeorge goes 2 innings. He will get 3 strikeouts and is in line for the win. I don't hate the decision. McGeorge had a lot of time off. You're up 8, you save his arm, and now he can probably go take photos for you. So it's a win-win all the way around for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. The 0-1 swing and a miss as well for Luke McGeorge. Didn't say it. If you don't follow him already, at Luke McGeorge Media on Instagram, some of the best photos in Northeast Ohio. Go follow him. He does great work. 2-strike count to begin on Peralta. He'll off this one over towards right field, as it is going to be caught at second for out number 1. A nice job tracking it by Grayson Bischoff. So back to the top we go for the Brooklyn Grays with Pedro Sanabria. But this team just trying to find their identity in this game. It's a rough outing as things stand. And I think we knew, just kind of based on the Mountaineer Lumber Company's history, what we were going to expect from this game. They have come into play. No doubt as Slice fires in strike 1. 5'9", 170, batted a $178 this past season for Otterbein. Not to jinx them, had a perfect fielding percentage as well for the Cardinals. Swinging on the 0-1, now 0-2. Of course, was a part of Revere, was a part of the Cleveland Baseball Federation last summer. Then his old high school coach brought him back home to the MLC. And he is looking for his first strikeout of the game. Won't get it. But has good command. I believe that is a breaking ball. Just good command on it. Really good movement all around. He's floating it in quite nicely. Back control, it's stellar. The 1-2, fouled back. We will do it again. In the 4th for the Mountaineer Lumber Company, Tegan Clark Edwards, 2 through 4 coming up, as they look to extend their 8-0 lead. Slice's 1-2 will skip away. But after today, we're pretty much at the halfway point, if not over the halfway point of this tournament. Now the 2-2, swing and a miss. Right by him. 2 down. First strikeout of the game for Jeff Seiss. And as my old JV coach liked to say on a swing and miss, it's Louisiana Bayou. He'd even tell it to us after we struck out. No wonder we weren't that good of a team, only 500. That was an interesting team. Last high school team I played for, and glad I went to this. Count 1-0 to begin on Juan Fabian, the catcher, 0 for 1 today with a flyout. I do remember the one game I played as a sophomore at Holy Name. Our varsity coach basically went into the dugout and said, I'm going to try to get tossed from a JV game today. He didn't get tossed, luckily, but it was a scary one as we lost it late. The 2-0 fouled back. And it was funny. My friend wasn't in the lineup. He threw his glove at the wall in frustration, almost hitting the coach. He didn't see him there. Just threw it right by him. The aftermath would have been ugly if he made contact. The 2-1 wide for ball 3. But a lot of good things in baseball just that make the game a lot better. Stuff like that, the Bayou thing, the ball 5, the Seminole chants, you name it. Swing and a miss, we're full. Of course, Tri-C popularized it in Northeast Ohio again this season. Every now and then you'll hear it. They brought it out against Clark State, and it changed their fortunes in that game. Seiss, his payoff pitch, grounded over towards third. Throw to first. It is in plenty of time on the pick from Clark to end the inning. A nice throw across an Nyman from Brady Rollison closes out the third. To the fourth we go. Score remains 8-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Top of 4 at Thurman Munson Memorial Stadium. 8-0 your score. It is all Mountaineer Lumber Company today. 1 run in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. And that'll bring us into this inning as that first pitch nearly hits Tegan on the shoulder. Kind of turns away from it and takes it for ball 1. It's Tegan, Clark, Edwards, 2 through 4 this inning coming up for the MLC. The 1-0 skips in for ball 2, and as things stand again tomorrow morning, that first game will be the battle for the pool play champion. So a big game for both teams, meaning the Mountaineer Lumber Company and Jasper at 9:30 a.m. here on SmeeSports. 2-0 ground ball right to the second baseman. Throwing over to first base will be in plenty of time for out number 1. Nice simple flick to begin the inning, as that'll bring us to Braden Clark, the first baseman. A triple to begin last inning. Before that, a sac fly. So 2 productive at-bats for him. But for the Grays, they just need to find some consistency, whether it be from their defense, their pitching, their offense. They just need it somewhere, and they are still looking for their first run of this tournament. They want to score at least 1 while they're here. That is a certain thing. They'll have 2 more opportunities after this to do it. But you cannot walk out of here without scoring a run. No matter how you get it done. The 1-0 off the plate for ball 2. And again, once we reach the playoffs, the 2 semifinals will be 7-inning games. On Sunday, 10 a.m., that'll be a 9-inning game. The championship to close out this tournament. The 2-0 taken high for ball 3. So patience to begin here from Braden Clark. Nothing crazy he has to do. Just waiting for a pitch he can hit as Hunter Edwards gets ready to go in the on-deck circle, looking to do the same exact thing. Ball 4. It's a 1-out walk for Clark. With this Mountaineer Lumber Company team, they feel confident with where they stand. This game being approached very similar to how Jasper approached their game with the Grays when they started to kind of see how the game was going to go, the writing on the wall that they were the better team. They just were content. Not the most hits today for the Mountaineer Lumber Company either. They've relied more on the free passes to get the job done, which isn't a bad thing. Swinging a light tip there from Edwards to begin. 0-1 the counts. But counting them out, 3 hits today for the Mountaineer Lumber Company, and they are all extra base hits. No singles. That's a weird statistic. The 0-1 taken in the dirt. For reference, Jasper, they had 4 hits in their 11-0 win in Game 1 today. So in and around a similar spots. Now the 1-1. Did he go? Yes. Count 1 and 2. That's one Edwards has to be better on, just holding back a little bit more. That's one that no matter how nice the jerseys are, it will not save you there. You got to be a lot more patient than that. The 1-2, it is above his head. And nearly to the backstop again. We've seen a lot of pitches be thrown behind the batters today. That is a big issue going into tomorrow that the Grays look to address. Again, partially not their fault that they had to split up the roster. Runner fakes, 2-2, low or full. That's tough. We don't know exactly how they split it. I think it's the older kids on one team, the younger on the other. So this is your inexperienced high school crowd competing in a collegiate tournament. And that's when you start to have those issues present themselves. Payoff pitch. Edwards pops it into shallow right field. And this one is going to get down. It'll be a bloop single for Hunter Edwards, as that'll put 2 on, 1 down for Ethan Green. I mean, he just snuck it perfectly into right field. Didn't get the most behind it. Wasn't the best swing. He's safe. That's what matters. And I'm sure he is quite pleased with it. So now Greeny going up again. He has walked twice. Don't know if he would mind doing the same thing again. He just wants to help out the team here. He wants this team to get a little bit closer to that run rule that they have been searching for. That'll help. It's to the backstop. 2 runners advance. Just a lot of little mistakes today. The little things have quickly added up for the Brooklyn Grays. Again, they'll have one more pool play game and then a consolation game to figure it out to try and get something out of this tournament. If not, as they kind of said before they came in, they just wanted to get better from this. The 1-0, it's driven into right center field and down for a base hit. That'll bring in a pair most likely as they come in one after the other. They were right behind each other. It was a foot race between Tegan and Clark. Clark nearly catches up, but it's a 2 RBI single for Ethan Green. It's 10-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company. Again, We don't see kill shots all that often in baseball, but we have one right here, a 10-0 run for the MLC. But I'm impressed with Clark's speed. He nearly caught him, to his credit. You see it on the replay, those guys came in separated by a few steps at most. So now it turns to Andon Bender as there is a strike? Okay. But it'll be a pinch hitter in place of Bender now. That'll be number 24, Jonathan Mitchner, getting some swings. The 0-1. That one looked better than the first one. Instead, this one is called a ball count. Now even 1 ball, 1 strike. The on-deck circle after it is Brady Rolison staying in the game. So not necessarily the emptying of the bench quite yet. The 1-1 hits at the top of the strike zone. As well, the Mountaineer Lumber Company still has 6 outs to get to close out this game. That would be for the run rule in 5. Count 1-2. Popped. Going towards center field as this one will be caught for out number 2. And there is no further advancement for Ethan Green at first. And now he's thinking about it. I think this is a live ball. And it was. Coach not too happy over at third. That's one he easily could have advanced on. Instead, he stays put. Now that'll bring up Rolison. Hey, 2 RBI double his last time up. A lot of 2 RBI base hits today. They have scored, and they have scored in bunches. Only 2 this inning, but still an overall positive. They have scored 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That's an interesting one. Of course, not in order. None of it being in order. But they have been filling it up quite nice. And I'm sure they could turn around in the 5th and easily score 5. In the on-deck circle after Rolison, it is Makito. Either they give him another chance to come in if Rolison can't drive in this run. I think if he does the job, they'll feel pretty content with this inning. But these are 2 guys that have already stepped up today. Both have reached successfully twice. Walk first for Rolison, then the double. Makito, he doubled first, then walked. But still pretty much the same exact game script. Again, up next on this field, it is the Canton A's as they take on the Brooklyn Grays. The 2-1. Rolison flies this one deep to left field, and it is going to get down for extra bases. He just cleared it over the entire outfield. That'll bring in 1. Rolison is off to third, and he is in with an RBI triple. Make it 11-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company. What a swing. There was just no chance for the left fielder. Just a lofty swing. That's the power he possessed in the Federal League, and I'm sure on this diamond before today. And he brings it out once again. He'll stand at third as it turns to Aiden Makito. So now 3 RBIs today for Rolison, mashing Makito for the team high. First pitch to Makito, taken for ball 1. At this point, I'm sure Mountaineer is treating this like they're 0-0 and now up 1-0 in the run rule departments to try and make sure this one does end in 5. The 1-0 blocked for ball 2. This is why you have the run rule. Sometimes the team just doesn't have it. If we didn't, then look out. This game would have been astronomically more out of proportion than it already is. And we will still see the Lumber Company bat one more time. So this is not the end for them. The 2-0 taken high for ball 3. For Fernandez, that was pitch 58. This will be number 59 in relief. Makito, he will attack the 3-0, gets jammed up, flies it into center field, and it is going to get down. That'll make it 12-0. Makito does his job again. He will reach for the 3rd time as he will go over to his first base coach, who today is Will Tagan, I guess. Taker's doing double duty. But it's all smiles, all good, all the way around for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. We're going to see here, did it touch anybody on the way down? Are I calling that a base hit? I think we do. I think that's technically an RBI single. If so, 4 RBIs today for Makito. As this ball is sent into right center field, the hit parade continues. The offense is here. Makito thought about it. He'll stay put at second. So Bischoff drives one perfectly. His first hit of the day as we go back to the top of the order and Luke Ickes. 12-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company in the top of the 4th inning. The Grays have allowed 23 runs unanswered today across 2 games. In around 8 innings of work. Ickes fly ball sent towards left field. This one will be caught to end the inning. It's another 4 spot for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. They continue to pour it on to the home half of the inning we go. It's all MLC up by a dozen on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Bottom 4, 12-0 Mountaineer Lumber Company. It is a dominant performance for them as Jeff Slice remains on the mound after coming in relief for McGeorge, but this ball is played into left field. It's a leadoff single for Adrian Mendoza. There have been a few bright spots for the Brooklyn Grays today, a couple of good base hits, but still no runs overall. Time 3:55, so assuming we are done in 5 innings, I do think we will be on time for our second to last game of the day, which is quite impressive. That really doesn't happen all too often in these tournaments. Again, on field 2, coming up in around an hour, it'll be the Stark County Terriers taking on Travelers. And on this field, it'll be the Cantonese taking on the Brooklyn Grays Josh team, which will be the second team, or the last team to make their debut at this tournament, which potentially could be with 2 teams already eliminated. That being, of course, earlier on today, the B2 Bulls, and now in this game, the Brooklyn Grays. Slices 0-2 will skip in. Count 1-2. Kamar Brown so far today, 0-for-0 with a walk. But I do think this next Brooklyn Grays team is going to be a lot more impressive, as that is their older team. The 1-2 fouled off. Kind of an accidental swing from Brown, but still made contact. Then looking ahead, let's see who else is playing tomorrow morning. Besides the game that we have previewed a few times, which is Jasper and the Mountaineer Lumber Company. That'll be the Rays Gibson team taking on the B2 Bulls. And then after that, it's going to be Travelers versus Brooklyn Grays Josh. The 1-2 high for ball 2. So as things stand, a meaningless game at 12. That'll be the match for the third place, essentially in that pool. And then it could also be the same thing at 2:30. 2-2 high for ball 3, full counts. After Brown, it goes to Ishmael Luciano. Can Slice get the out here? Yes. 1 down, swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the day for Jeff Slice. And with 1 away, that'll turn things to Luciano, who struck out swinging his first time up. As a pitching staff so far today, 5 strikeouts for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. In comparison to the 2 for the Brooklyn Grays. As that bat begins with a tip back that's caught. Nice snag by Makito. 0-1 the counts. It looks like as of right now, the infield and outfield are pretty much staying the same for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. No changes yet on the surface. The 0-1 popped up off towards right field. And caught for out number 2. A nice job there by Tegan. So 2 down quickly this inning. As that'll bring in Jacob Falero, the center fielder, a fly out to right. His first time up. Tegan, Clark, Edwards, 2 through 4 coming up in the 5th. And that'll be the last ups for the Mountaineer Lumber Company today. And then we will see the Grays one final time, unless they can score 3 runs over the next 4 outs. Which does not appear to be likely as things stand. But again, as we talked about a few times, a really nice day for baseball. Beautiful breeze blowing in from time to time. Very comfortable. Not often have I been able to wear long sleeves during this summer season, but the last 2 days I've been able to wear a pullover. Last 3 to be exact. This never happens. Typically it's too warm. Not really the case today. The 1-1. Perfect pitch from Jeff Slice. And in the end, he might pitch longer in this game than Luke McGeorge does. And odds are he will. The only way he wouldn't is if he exits the game after this inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slice sets and fires. Fly ball sent into left center field. And this one is going to get down for extra bases. The first big swing of the day for the Grays. They look to score 1, and they will. It's their first run at the World Series. And a chance for a second. They're going to send him home. The play at the plate is not in time. They bring in a pair. Just like that, it's 12-2, a 10-run game. How about it for the Brooklyn Grays? They earned this one. It's a Little League homer, but on paper, it will be a double. What a swing from Jacob Falero. These guys earned it. If nothing else, you take away these runs, it's a positive. The big thing for this team, they wanted to get better this weekend. That's how you get better, making plays like that. So now Urena steps in, a strikeout his first time up. But as of right now, the run rule is still in effect after next inning. But I think the MLC will want to put on at least 1 or 2 more runs to really solidify that. Anything beyond the 5th, I feel like is a negative for them, especially pitching-wise. The 0-1, yes, he went. Count 0-2. But I do think they made the pitching change at the right time as this one is fouled off. Could they have made the change later? Yes, I think they easily could have. But you save McGeorge for later on in the tournament. That I'm fine with. The 0-2 pitch low for ball 1. After Urena, it would turn to Falero. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slice back to work. That time misses just a hair high. Officially 4 o'clock in the heart of Canton. Slices 2-2, fouled back. We will do it again. Started today at 9:30 on the dot. Since then, a run rule win, another shutout for the Jasper Reds, and now game number 3. The 2-2, good swing, and through into left field it goes. The inning will continue as this one is going to roll past the left fielder. And he is in at second. So it'll be a single for Urena and an extra base on the error. For the Mountaineer Lumber Company, they have to hold their nerve here. You've already allowed 2 this inning. You can't allow a third. Again, this is their game. They have controlled it. But you can't have it go off the rails and give this team any way back in. Now Falero coming back in, looking to do what Jacob did a few at-bats ago, and that is bring in some runs. Bunt shown and pulled back. Nonetheless, it's strike 1. Again, 2 through 4, Tegan, Clark, Edwards coming up for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. The 0-1 popped up over towards first base as it's called off by the second baseman as he makes the catch to end the inning. A nice snag by Grayson Bischoff. To the 5th we go. The Grays plate 2, now a 12-2 ball game at Thurman Munson Stadium.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Top of the 5th inning, 12-2 score. The Mountaineer Lumber Company up by 10 on the Brooklyn Grays as you are watching NABF Collegiate World Series Baseball on SmeeSports. First pitch will hit the inside edge for strike 1. If the Grays score 1 in the bottom of the inning and the Lumber Company don't score here, we would play on to the 6th. Just a really good swing brought into courtesy of Jacob Falero. First 2 runs at the World Series for this Brooklyn Grays team. They just needed a couple of bounces to go their way, and they finally got it. That was their hope, to score. Just after a rough start, but they figured it out. Drive up the middle, perfectly falls in center field. It's a leadoff base knock for Will Tagan. I will say the Mountaineer Lumber Company has hit around quite well today. In comparison to how Jasper got their win, they've been better offensively. If this is our comparison, same team, they allow more runs, but their offense looking a little bit more convincing than Jasper did in that one game. We'll see if that matters, though, when it's all said and done. Again, the Grays would be eliminated from playoff contention with this loss. So then we'd have 2 of our 4 semifinalists confirmed. The 1-0 high and outs. And then over the next couple of games, we will look to solidify our 3rd and 4th semifinalists, which again, if it happens tomorrow, is just more for seeding than anything, which would be an interesting way to close out pool play, for sure. Swing and a miss on the 2-0, now 2-1. After Clark, it goes to Edwards. 12-2 Mountaineer Lumber Company. Top of the 5th inning. Potentially the final inning of this game. For the Grays, it is Peralta, Sanabria, and Fabian. 9-1-2 they'll have up in the 5th. And their goal will be to keep this game going as long as they can. 2-1 wide for ball 3. But you can just feel the energy on both sides just not there. We had the energy last night, but of course, underneath the lights, that was a big motivator to make that happen. The 3-1, it'll miss inside for ball 4. So a nice drawn walk by Braden Clark. The thing is, for our final game at Munson 1, and on 2 for that matter, you cannot start the last game on either field until this entire time slot's done. You have 2 teams playing on 1, 2 teams playing on 2. 2 teams will trade places. So that'll make things tough, especially if one game does run longer than the other. That could give us a mighty delay. Hopefully it doesn't, but that is the only risk of building the bracket the way it is. Unfortunately, it looks like that we could have potentially played a game earlier on today at Munson 2. I think the 965 was done earlier today. Fly ball sent towards left field, and it is going to, I believe, get out of here foul. And that's why you can see off towards the side. We'll zoom in more on them on your screen now. You see the Canton Class A is getting ready to go for their game later on today at 5, right here on Munson 1. They'll take on the older Brooklyn Grays team, which we do have their roster. It is a lot of collegiate players, pretty much all collegiate players on that team. So that's how they divvied up the rosters. It makes sense in the end. The 1-1 skied towards right field. And it is going to stay on the infield as it's caught at first, route number 1. Good communication over there. I think the first baseman kind of just called it off in the end. Just took control and made the play. That'll take care of Hunter Edwards. Now Green will step in, reached on 2 walks to begin his day, and then follow that up with a 2 RBI single. As well, make sure you stick with us as we will announce our player of the game, presented by CrossFit Strongsville, after our final commercial break in game number 3. Not a bad pickoff move. If you would have thrown that one backside / runner side, I think he would have had a pretty good chance, if not a clear out. But in the end, throws it on the opposite side. As now Green will dig back in, waiting for the first pitch he sees. As he takes this one foul, it is going to drop foul. And it bounces out of play in the end. 0-1 counts. But the Mountaineer Lumber Company today has been convincing. They have a couple of things to work on heading into tomorrow morning's game. But I think they will more than take this result, as they have been quite impressive. Assuming we end in 5. As I've said, if we don't end this game in 5, I think there is going to be heavy disappointment from the Mountaineer Lumber Company. Now, heading in, if they wouldn't have finished there, okay, maybe not. But in this case, based on how the game has gone, yes, there will be. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Got him on the high inside pitch. First strikeout of the game for Fernandez. 2 down. Now it turns to Mitchner. The rising senior at Capital via Nordonia High School. 0-for-1 in 1 game played in 2026 with 12 total appearances, batting $150 in 3 seasons for the Comets. Again, in the bottom of the inning, Peralta, Sanabria, Fabian, 9-1-2 coming up. The 1-0, a nice block behind the plates. A lot of credit to Juan Fabian. He has kept pretty much everything in front of him today. Of course, a lot of them have gotten away, but the close ones, he's kept in front. The others, wild pitches. 2-0 on the outside edge, connects for strike one. But for Jeff Seiss, he will have to be quick and efficient in the bottom of the inning to close this one out. Otherwise, his outing will be longer than he even anticipated. The 2-1, Michener skies it off towards the left side of the infield, called off at short. An aggressive call off, but it makes the play happen. A nice catch by the shortstop to end the inning. Last chance for the Grays when we return. Peralta, Sanabria, Fabian, 9-1-2 coming up for the home team.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
Last chance for the Brooklyn Grays. Bottom of the fifth inning. They need to score one to continue this game as there is ball one from Jeff Seiss. 12-2. All Mountaineer Lumber Company in this one. They have dominated this matchup. As for Jeff Seiss, didn't get the nod to start the game. Came in relief for Luke McGeorge. McGeorge now, I'm sure, available for other games in this tournament. Seiss, right around 40 pitches, I'm sure he is still available too, assuming he gets out of this quickly. But if the Mountaineer Lumber Company play their cards so well that they have only one pitcher they can't use after 2 games, that would be quite impressive. Of course, the run rule does help, but it was never a guarantee. They have helped make it happen. The 1-2. Grounded over towards third, but foul it goes. Count will remain 1-2 as that one is struck right back in. That is Michener now in the game at third in place of Rollison. Count 1-2 on Peralta, who popped out his first time up as there is strike 3 looking. 1 up, 1 down. A no-doubter from Jeff Seiss, up to 3 strikeouts on the day. And we will go back to the top of the order with Pedro Sanabria. So far today, 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. After him, it goes to Juan Fabian. But the MLC 2 outs away from getting this win confirmed. And with it, a spot in the semifinals. That's the intrigue and the appeal of this game. You win, you're in the semis. You clinch your spot there. That's huge going forward. You just have to play for your seeding tomorrow morning against a really good Jasper Reds team. The 0-1 just off the plate. And as well, the positive is for games inside Munson 1, assuming that happens, you'll pretty much have everything you need to know the bracket going into the day. So those teams who don't play, they'll know when to play. As this ball is picked up at short and caught. They're going to say he just picked it off before it hit the turf. An excellent snag by Brady Rallison now at shorts. And the magic number is now 1 for the Mountaineer Lumber Company. But it'll be the consolation bracket that remains unknown entering the day, but it'll be relatively quickly decided. Unless, of course, some crazy things happen in the other pod. First pitch, fouled back, and sent right back down towards the fans. That is not ideal. Time 4:16, so again, making good time. Just over about an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours in. The 0-1 fouled away. And just like that, the Grays are down to their final strike on the brink of elimination. Can Jeff Slice close it out here for the Mountaineer Lumber Company? Count 0-2 on the leadoff hitter, or rather, the catcher in the 2 spots. And he will get it done. Swing and a miss, the game is over. 4 strikeouts today for Jeff Slice. He gets it done. The Mountaineer Lumber Company gets the win, 12-2. When we return, we will announce our player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville as you are watching NABF Collegiate World Series Baseball on SmeeSports.
Experiencing pain of any kind? Call a timeout and stop by the Healthiest You Chiropractic Center. There, Dr. Max or Dr. Stephanie will provide a top-tier adjustment. Then you'll unwind in their therapy room. Visit their website at www.thychiro.com or call 440-238-3338 and book an appointment today. The Healthiest You Chiropractic Center, keeping Strongsville pain-free since 2013. Looking to get in shape and join a great community? Look no further than CrossFit Strongsville. We offer classes taught by our amazing staff of coaches. If going solo is more your speed, stop in for our open gym hours. Visit our website at CrossFitStrongsville.com to learn more and view our schedule. Visit our new location at 12608 Alameda Drive in Strongsville. Strongsville CrossFit, you're worth it. You deserve to be healthier and happier.
It's a convincing 12-2 win for the Mountaineer Lumber Company, their 12th win of the season, and they are moving on to the NABF Collegiate World Series semifinals tomorrow afternoon. Your player of the game presented by CrossFit Strongsville, a number of candidates up for it, but with 4 RBIs, it'll go to Aiden Makito, a big part of the offense. He reached all 3 times. Some good defensive catching from him. All things considered, he was the rock of this team behind the plate and offensively. Helped kickstart the offense multiple times and was a big reason why they walk out of here in 5 innings. Up next, it'll be the Canton A's taking on the Brooklyn Grays Josh team. They'll make their debut at the tournament, the final team to step in. The 2 teams already bidding farewell with 2 games left to go, those being the B2 Bulls and the Brooklyn Grays Gibson squad. That'll do it for us for game number 3 today at Thurman Munson Stadium. 12-2 your final. The MLC gets a convincing win. Time to hop on over to game link number 4, as this is Nathan Smee signing off as you are watching NABF Collegiate World Series Baseball on SmeeSports.